యా వస్తుంది.
Yeah, next control is,
క్లిక్ చేసాలి.
so please mute your mic.
వస్తుంది. ఓపెన్ అయింది.
So drop down list. Okay, so drop down list, select element is used to create drop down list. Okay, HTML select element and is used to create drop down list. Okay, and using this drop down list. Okay, drop down list, you can select only one item, only one option from list of options. Okay, so from list of options, like if you go to Google registration form, okay, so here in birthday field there is a drop down list. Okay, January, February, March, like that. Okay, so we can select only one option from this list of options. Okay, in these scenarios we can use this element. Okay, drop down list. Okay, so syntax for this drop down list, using select element, okay, select, okay, starting tag and ending tag. So between these two tags we have to use option option tag and value equal to January. Okay, and here Jan. So this is the display text and this is the value to store the data, this value in the database. Okay, so like this we can select, we can give the options. Okay, so this is the syntax for the drop down list. So create one HTML form. Here drop down. Okay, so date of birth, day of week. Okay, January, February, March, like that. And number of options we can give here. Okay, so April. And text box for the day, type equal to text, and placeholder equal to day, and close this one text box. And next, type equal to text, placeholder equal to year. Okay, so this is the selected month, okay, and a day and year for that date of birth. So okay, using HTML controls like a button, text box, okay, and drop down list. So all these controls we can use to create the registration form. Okay, so first of all, on this example, okay, so we can select this month and a day and a year. Okay, so like Google registration form. So this is the drop down list. You can select only one option from list of options. Okay, and the next control is radar button list. Okay, radar button list. So we use input tag with type equal to radio attribute. Okay, with the type equal to radio attribute to create radio buttons. Okay, radio button list all radio buttons in HTML. Okay, so basically we can select only one option from list of options. Okay, but it will take occupy the space in the HTML form. Drop down list will not occupy the space in the HTML form. Okay, so number of options in the drop down. Okay, but radio button list occupy the space in HTML form. Syntax for this: input type radio and value equal to, okay, so mail, okay, and then name equal to gender. Okay, so like this you can create the radar buttons in the same HTML form. Okay, so you can rename this like a registration form. Okay, so in the registration form we have another field, that is gender. In gender field, input type equal to radio and the name equal to gender and value equal to male. Radio name gender value female and other type equal to radio and name equal to gender value equal to other. Okay, so like Google registration form. Okay, so male female other and the other not display, the other not say. So we can add one more option also, but we can take 3 options now and run this example. Okay, so here radar button list male, female and other. Okay, so if you select male, this female and other are unselected. If you select male, these both are unselected. If you select other, male and female is unselected. Okay, so here this is the radar button list, and this radar button list occupies the space in the HTML form, but drop down list will not occupy the space. Okay, and both functionality are same. You can select only one option from this number of options. Okay, so like this we can use, or we can use drop down list also like this. Okay, or we can use radar button list for the gender. And next control is checkbox list. Okay, checkbox list. So checkbox is often used in groups to indicate a series of choices. Often to used in uh, used in groups indicate a series of choices. Okay, series of choices. Uh, for syntax for this, input type equal to checkbox. Okay, and so value. So for checkboxes, we can use for the uh, qualifications. Okay, we can select multiple qualifications, right? Like BTech. Okay, and also MCA. Okay, MBA. So like this, we can select. So number of qualifications we can display in the HTML form. Okay, to the user, and the user can select multiple options. Okay, so next qualifications. Qualifications. So run this example. That the checkboxes is displayed, but here also we can use text MCA and MBA. Okay, so from this number of qualifications, okay, we can select. Okay, so like this. But to drop down list and radar button list, we can select only one option. From the checkbox list, we can select multiple options. Okay, so this is the checkbox list example. And next one is list box control. A list box. So list box is similar to a text box. Okay, this control so is similar to a text box. Okay, so but text box accept only one row. Okay, only single line. It shows a declared number of text rows. List box. Okay, it shows a declared number of rows. Declared number of text rows. Number of text rows, and gives the user a list of choices. User a list of choices. Okay, so in list box also we can select multiple options. Okay, so this controls similar to a text box, but it shows number of declared rows. uh, like this. You can use select, okay, element to create the list box. Okay, list box. Multiple equal to multiple we have to use. Okay, so that we can select multiple options. Okay, option uh, like value. Okay, so uh, uh, okay, sample text one. Okay, text one, two. Okay, so like this number of options. Three, four. Okay, so number of options is there. So you can select multiple options from this list. Okay, so this is like the text box, but it shows declared number of rows, text rows. So by holding control key, you can select multiple options. Okay, without control key, also you can select only one option. Okay, by holding control key, you can select multiple options. Okay, so this is list box control. Okay, next div and span tags. Div and span tags. So div tag defines a section in the HTML document. Okay, div tag defines a section in HTML form. Okay, in HTML document or in HTML form. Defines a section in HTML document, and div tag is used to group block elements to format them with the CSS. Div tag is used to group block level elements div tag is used to group block elements, not block level, okay, block elements to format them with the CSS. Okay, so and the div tag has no special meaning. Div tag has no special meaning. Okay, special meaning, but um, and no required attributes also. Okay, no required attributes to define to define div tag. Okay, so but we can use class or style attributes to assign CSS properties. Okay, so we can use class attribute or style attributes to assign the CSS properties. Okay, but there no required attributes. So because it is a black level element, and the browser will display line breaks before and after it. Okay, so div tag example, so create one HTML form, div and span. Okay, both. So take one div tag in div and to display some content. Okay, you can copy this content and this and paste here. Okay, so now run this example. So div tag. So the browser will display line breaks before and after it. Yeah, line breaks before and after it means. Okay, so for every line, okay, so breaks the before and after it, and we can use class attribute or style attribute to apply the CSS properties. Use style equal to background color, okay, background color and text color. Okay, so like this we can apply CSS properties for the div tag. Okay, so but we cannot insert div tag in span. A span tag and div tag. Okay, so if you write like this, okay, inside span, so it will show the message. Okay, element div cannot be nested within element span. Okay, we cannot insert div tag in span, but we can insert a span element in inside div tag. Okay, in this example, so we can insert span. Okay, in div element, okay, inside div element, we can insert span, and this is span tag. Okay, so run this example. Okay, it is showing like this. Okay, this is span tag. So we can apply different CSS properties for the span using style attribute. Text color, okay, red color. Okay, so only this part is displaying red color. Okay, so like this we can apply CSS properties for the div tag and span tag. Okay, we can insert span tag inside the div tag, but we cannot insert span div tag inside span. Okay, and span, so div tag and span. Okay, span has no special meaning. Span has no special meaning. Special meaning and no required attributes for the span also. Okay, and no required attributes for the span. Okay, and but we can use class and style attributes to assign the CSS properties. Okay, and ID also we can use. Okay, ID attribute or class attribute or style attribute to apply the CSS properties. Okay, the main difference between div and span, we cannot insert div tag in span inside span, but we can insert span tag inside div tag. and next one is iframe. So iframe tag is used to display web page within another iframe tag is used to display web page within a web page. This tag is used to display web page within web page, and also we can display another website, within our web page. Okay, and also we can play YouTube videos. Okay, YouTube videos in our web page. Okay, so these three features using iframe. So using iframe we can display web page within another web page, and we can display another website, and we can play YouTube videos. So syntax for this: iframe and source. So here we have to provide path to display. Okay, web page or website or YouTube video URL. And next, width 200 pixels, height equal to 180 pixels. Okay, and close this tag. So this is the iframe syntax. So create an HTML form. Okay, and I want to display image tag.html form. Okay, within iframe.html. So use iframe tag and source equal to web page path. Okay, image tag.html. Okay, so I want to display image tag.html form within the iframe.html form, and height equal to 180 pixels. Okay, and width equal to 200 pixels. Okay, you can provide your 1 pixels. Okay, then now run this example. Okay, so this is the HTML form. So inside iframe, okay, this is our iframe tag. Inside our iframe we have another HTML form is there. Okay, so this iframe and this HTML tag belongs to image tag.html. Okay, so this total HTML form we displayed in our iframe.html form. Okay, so if you don't want to display this border for the iframe, okay, in border for this iframe, border is so I will show you this. Next, I want to display another website within the or iframe.html form. So use iframe and source equal to, so I want to display double schools website. Okay, http double three schools.com and height equal to 300 pixels, width equal to 300 pixels. Okay, so now run this example. Website is not loaded. Source www.schools.com is the error. Okay, so some websites are not displayed using iframe. Uh, Before it is displayed, so I will try for Yahoo. So, but we can display, some websites are displayed. Okay, so some these Yahoo and WS schools are restricted, okay, to display iframe. So, but some websites we can display. So, I will try this. Okay, so it will take some time to load this. Okay, so but it will display the iframe, and also we can play this YouTube videos in the iframe. Okay, so go to YouTube and select one video. Okay, so anything. Okay, so right click here and copy embed code okay, and paste here. Okay, so frame border 0. Okay, and now the embed code is copied. Okay, so total iframe tag is copied from the YouTube, and now okay, so when you click on play button, it will play in our web page. Okay, to auto play, autoplay equal to 1. Okay, so directly it will play. Okay, so autoplay and allow full screen. So when you click on the double click, it will display full screen. So these are the HTML elements. Okay, and HTML5 features is pending. Okay, and the first class we stop at this concept. Okay, so HTML5 features. Okay, so doc type and local storage, figure element, no more types for skips, and email input headers, footer, recap, canvas, and content edit. So here 10 main features available. So one new doc type is already explained. Okay, and local storage. So I will explain this local storage in AngularJS. Okay, so we have the concept in AngularJS also. So I will explain this one in AngularJS, and third one is figure element. So this figure element is used to display image with the image description. Okay, in the bottom of the image or the top of the image we can display image description. Create an HTML form. So figure element uh, use figure element and image tag source equal to image source and alternate attribute my image and height 200 and width 200. Okay, and fig caption tag is there. Okay, in the figure element. So this is for display image description. Okay, here we can provide image description. Okay, so this description you can display in the top of the image or bottom of the image. So run this example. Okay, so image description is displayed in the bottom of the image only. Okay, so when combined with the fig caption and element, we can show semantically associate captions with their image counterparts. Okay, so this is the figure element, and no more types for skips and links. So nowadays in HTML5, okay, in HTML5, in HTML5, no need to specify, okay, type attribute for the scripts. Okay, for the scripts and link tags. Okay, script and link tag means, for example, when you are implementing on a web page, okay, you want to call the .css file and JS files. Okay, in the header tag, we have to call the CSS files. Okay, in header section, we call the CSS files. So CSS files we can call the CSS files using link tag. Okay, and href equal to and .css file path. Okay, here in href tag we have to provide CSS file path and type attribute equal to text CSS. Okay, and rel tag. Okay, this is must style sheet. Okay, so in older versions we have to call the CSS files like this. Okay, but in HTML5 like below. Okay, no need to specify the type attribute. Okay, so here we can remove this. Okay, this is one new feature. No need to specify the type attribute for the CSS and the script tag. Okay, so in older versions compulsory we need to provide type attribute when we are calling the CSS files, and this is must in HTML5 also. Okay, relation attribute. And to call the JavaScript files, okay, script files, in the body section, in the bottom of the body section, we have to call the JavaScript files. Okay, script files. So use script tag script and the source equal to okay .js file path. Okay, in source attribute we have to provide .js file path and the type attribute equal to text JavaScript. Okay, and no need to specify anything here. Okay, in HTML5 in HTML in older versions, but in HTML in HTML5, so they are removed type attribute. Okay, so like this we can call the .js files. Okay, this is one feature in HTML5. And next, email inputs. For the text boxes, for the email text boxes, you can provide the validation for the email format. So okay, we can apply a type of email to input text. Okay, we can instruct the browser to only allow strings that conform to a valid email address. Okay, input type equal to email placeholder equal to email. So this is only identification of text box. Enter email. So this is the text box to we are instructing the browser. Okay, we instructing the browser to only allow the email formats. Okay, so valid email formats only. So for example, use form tag and method input type equal to email. Okay, not text, email, and placeholder equal to enter your email and close this. And another tag is button. Okay, to submit the email to the server, and value equal to save. The type equal to submit also we can use. Okay, so now run this example. Okay, click on submit. Form action get to button type submit. Name email, type email, name email. Label for email. Okay, so type anything here. Okay, so when you click on the submit button, okay, it will show the message. Okay, error message. Okay, so this text box will accept only email formats. Please include an address in the email address. Okay, no need to specify these all these things. Email. Okay, so it will show the message. For input also same. Okay, so type submit only. Okay, so when you submit the text box into the server, it will show the message like this. Okay, compulsory we have to include at the rate. Okay, and also after at the rate also it will accept like this formats. Okay, this is email inputs feature, and next one is header tag and photo tags. Okay, to when you're designing the application. Okay, so compulsory we have to take the header tag and photo tags, okay, to display like header and photos. Okay, like uh, display the logos and okay, and in the photo tag we have to specify all these things. Okay, terms and conditions. Okay, and copyrights. Okay, header tag is there, and photo tag also is there to provide these things. And next, fig cap. So this is the fig cap example. Okay. Okay. So instead of fig cap, so already mistake with this. So already figure element is there in the fig cap feature. Quote or not to quote. Okay. And the another feature is quote or not to quote. Okay. So this is one feature. This feature used to provide the create the HTML forms. Okay, for example, when you are applying the CSS styles for the div tag. Okay, when you are for the attributes. Okay, so compulsory double quotes we are using. Okay, to call the CSS class. Okay, in HTML5 no need to specify these double quotes. Directly we can call. Okay, we can write class name. Style equal to class my class, and background color for the div tag, red color, and text color white. Okay, and some content to display in the div tag. Okay, and div tag height and width to 200 pixels. Okay, and directly we can call CSS class my CLS. Okay, so without calling double quotes, okay, without using double quotes also we can provide the values. Okay, this also one new feature in HTML5. Okay, but in older versions compulsory we have to provide double quotes. Okay, for the values. Okay, in HTML5 also we are using double quotes, but no need to specify double quotes. Okay, HTML5 is not based on XHTML. Okay, right? DTD not DTD tools. So you don't have to wrap our attributes in quotation marks. If you don't want you, okay, you don't have to close your elements. And the canvas like a content editable. So content editable is like in older versions we cannot modify any content in the HTML element. Okay, but in HTML5 we can edit the content in the uh, paragraph in the runtime. The new browsers are new HTML5. HTML5 we're using HTML5. We can edit the text content in the browser. Okay, browser using this feature. So for example, okay, take one paragraph here. Okay, and some content. Okay, so this is content in the paragraph. Okay, okay, so this is the content in the paragraph. So if you run this example, okay, the paragraph will display like this. Okay, and we cannot edit this content in the browser. So in HTML5 new feature is there, content editable. Okay, content editable equal to true. So user can edit the content. Okay, so the text mark is there. User can enter any text here. Okay, so this is one new feature. So the edited content is saved in the paragraph. Okay, and the canvas tag. So using canvas tag we can create the graphics. Okay, using HTML canvas tag. Okay, so nowadays uh, many many graphics. Okay, many graphics creating using canvas tag. Okay, and so HTML canvas tag is used to drag graphics on a web page.